Hi, welcome to the third episode of Learn RubyMotion. In this episode, we are going to build a login screen using RMQ. RMQ is a RubyMotion query. RMQ stands for RubyMotion Query. It is a gem developed by Todd and Ken from Infinite Red. They have a very wonderful README. It contains a lot of good information, and I encourage you to visit the GitHub page and check out the README. Let's get started with the project. So here I have a gem file for my project. All I had to do was add the gem, then I do bundle install. Then let's look at app delegate. Since this is going to be a multi-part episode, so I'm building the application in multiple steps. So in the first part, we are going to look at login v1 controller, then we will look at login v2 controller, and in future episodes we will look at login v3 and v4. So let's look at login v1 controller, and this has exactly 4 lines of code which is of our interest. So we start with rmq dot append UI view login form tap, and then we provide a block, and in that block we do two things. We have q.append email and q.append password. So what's going on here? So RMQ prides itself on being very similar to jQuery. You can keep appending and attaching elements to RMQ, and then you can act on those elements. So let's first run this thing on terminal, and then we will discuss about it. So I can do something like rake part 1 . So I don't see anything. So let's start debugging, and one of the things that we get for free with RMQ is rmq.log tree. So this gives us a tree-like structure for our view. So here we can see that this is our main UI view, and which has the sub UI view that we added, and that has 2 text fields. By the way, these numbers are the Ruby objects object ID, and this is the information about their width and height, and how much left they are from the screen, and how much they are from the top. So why don't we see anything? We don't see anything because, as we can see, everything is 0, 0. So let's play on the REPL, and then later we will go back to the controller and we will make all the changes. So the first thing is that we can pick up the first text field. This is the object ID. So RMQ provides something like this. We can do RMQ that object ID dot style s dot frame is equal to, we can say L is let's say 100, T is 80, width is 100, and height is 30. We still don't see anything. That's because of the background color. So next we need to change the background color, and that we can do by doing s dot background underscore color is equal to rmq dot color dot white. So this is, once again, this color syntax we are getting is from RMQ, and it's pretty nice and English-like. And now we see our text field. So, and we can do the same thing again, rmq.log tree, and this time we can see that the text field has a certain amount of width and height and other information about the frame. So this is a good way to use RMQ to debug the view things. The other thing we can do is that we can also do RMQ, once again, get the object ID dot move. Let's say that we are not quite happy with the height. We want to change the height. So we can do top, let's say 150. And you can see it has moved down a little bit. It is still, let's say we are still not happy, then we can say 250, and we want to move it further left, then we can say L20. So this is a very good tool to interact with the UI elements and keep playing with it until you are happy with your UI elements. And this is much more productive than getting out of the REPL and running the rake every single time. So back to our controller, these are the four statements we have, and we understand what's happening at this time. So the line number 6, we are adding rmq.append UI view. So we are appending the UI view, and the name for that is login form. And then to that form, to that UI view, we are appending the text fields, email, and password. Okay, so far so good. Now, how do we apply the style that we just added using REPL? Like this is the frame, this is the background color, and the way to do that is in controller 2, login v2 controller. So here the first difference that we see is that the statement is ending with .get. So when you end with .get, then you have the element for your further usage. So here we have two elements, email and password, and then what we do is that we do rmq email dot style st.frame and the background color. This is exactly like what we did in REPL. And same thing we do with rmq password, and then we also set frame and background color for the login form. Now let's go back to our terminal, and this time we will run part 2. And when we run part 2, we see that we have our email text field and the password text field. In the next episode, we will try to prettify the screen. We will have a lot more functionalities, and we will learn a few more features of RMQ. Thank you.